My name is Christian Stroud. Of course, I've never been here before. It's kind of a new thing for me. I am going to do a public speaking for you all, and I hope that you all enjoy it. If Dr. King were alive today, what do I think he would say? I walk the schools of the oppressed, bearing down by hatred among races, never seeing the similarities among their own faces. Disdain displayed in manners unseen by the adult eyes, but they were too worried about the races of their co-workers rather than the upbringing of their students. I remember being called weird instead of peculiar, awkward instead of different, and I was ridiculed for my pigment, when in actuality, I sizzle in the same sun just as they do, shiver in the same cold as they do, weep the same wet tears as they do, breathe in the same free air as they do, even bleed the same red blood as they do. Is it possible I'm talking about you, sir? You, madam? Is this your story too? Growing up in the days of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? You possibly struggled like him, or even with him, as he shepherded this endeavor to bring about peace in a world so divided by such arrogant ignorance. Sad to say, however, I'm talking about myself. Yes, me. 12 years old now, but growing up in the year 2008, I saw the fruition of prayers. A black man, Barack Hussein Obama, became the President of the United States of America. But the real reality is some of us still suffer disparagingly because of the color of our skin. I heard that a great man once said, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Tell that to Trayvon Martin, a 17-year-old black youth who was shot down in cold blood by an insecure Caucasian neighborhood watchman after buying snacks at a corner store. I looked up to see the sky once more before the day I was attacked, not by the sun's rays that beamed on the faces of the ones who were of all races, but by the racism on the streets and inside mobile transportation. I was born into racism. Racism is not dead, no. Rather, this blanket of darkness lives on to shroud any glimmer of hope for the destiny of an entire lineage. Wearing a mask of perversion, it lies in wait, just like in the suburbs. Mason, Ohio, where it's predominantly white, churches' lunchrooms have a bank with accessible opportunities to teach the students who are youngins in the 9th grade about appropriate spending habits, the profit of good credit scores, and the benefit of savings accounts. But it is rare to find even a bank in the inner cities where it's predominantly black. You will see several liquor stores, pawn shops, and a check cashing place. No bank. Racism is a touchy subject, I will admit. Dr. Martin Luther King said, human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step toward the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle, the tireless exertion and passionate concern of dedicated individuals. Enter Little Rock, Arkansas, 1957, where 9 black students courageously crossed the segregation border of education. Did it really bring about change? Sounds like the Gen 6, the people back in '06 that sat under the white tree and decided to say on this blistering day that we as black people could sit wherever we wanted. But the Caucasian persuasion decided to say to the blacks, no way, and hung rodeo ropes to grope the feeling of losing hope so they could burn. While the folks made the scarce news of the blue day, in a day that felt like May, to go to the principal's office while they say, I'm in trouble? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would say, where am I? Could this be? 49 to 50 years later, this is still the world we live in? I made a speech in 1943, and yet no one cares to continue following my path to change? I walked down the streets of Detroit, blasted with hoses, and even stood in the face of death itself. For nothing? Racism has been traced back to the days of Moses, when he was married to a Cushite, who were a black and enslaved people, and his own sister and brother refused to embrace the union between the two and did not go to the wedding. Thank you, Pastor Pipus. We need to distinguish this long-lived and disgusting excuse for bullying. Dr. Martin Luther King said, faith is taking the first step even though you don't see the whole staircase. Are you today brave enough to take the first step? It won't be easy, but every individual effort is worth seeing a decrease in this nefarious influence. So follow me, help me, join me, But Martin Luther King said, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our allies. God bless.